He'd won 14 battles. 14! But it was just one question, a handful of words from a quiet monk, that broke him completely.
See, this was General Vikramaditya, the most feared warrior in 3 whole kingdoms. His chest, heavy with medals, told you everything you needed to know about his power. 14 victories, and not a single defeat. When he walked, people said the very ground seemed to tremble, and they would scatter just to get out of his path. He was a walking monument of pride, and honestly, he believed he had every reason to be.
But all that pride, all that power, it was about to be challenged by the quietest force imaginable. One day, he passed a Jain monk just sitting there, peacefully on a step. The monk looked up, and his eyes, they held no fear, just this simple, calm gaze. He asked the general which of his many battles had been the absolute hardest. The general just smiled, ready to launch into some glorious tale of battle. But the monk's next question, well, it wasn't about war. It was a question that pierced deeper than any sword ever could. He asked, "Have you ever conquered your own anger?" Those 7 words completely shattered the general's world. They just echoed in his mind, way louder than any clash of steel. For a full year, he kept going back to that monk. He wasn't there to learn about war anymore, but to finally understand what real strength was. The kind of strength it takes to conquer yourself.
Then, on the anniversary of his greatest battle, he did something incredible. He took his famous sword, the very symbol of all his victories, and plunged it into a roaring fire. He just stood there and watched as the steel that had brought so much death was reborn. And from that molten metal, he didn't forge another weapon, he built a well for the village, a source of life where there had once only been death.
He gathered his men, not for a call to arms, but for one last lesson in peace. And in a voice that was stripped of all its old pride, he told them, "My greatest victory was the one nobody saw."
You see, any man can learn how to raise a sword, but the true test of a warrior is learning how to put it down.
Has someone in your life taught you a lesson like this? Share in the comments below.